the first major event to be organised by the newly formed Big Four companies was to celebrate the centenary of the opening of the Stockton and Darlington Railway, and so in 1925 a spectacular event involved a procession of some of the old pre-grouping locomotives. This is the Duke and Duchess of York arriving on a special London and North Eastern Railway train and being greeted by the officers of the new company. A special grandstand had been built just for the occasion. One of the highlights of the procession was to see locomotion, the old 1825 Stockton and Darlington engine that had been removed from plinth at Darlington Station and was driven by a concealed petrol engine in the tender. The smoke effect was achieved by burning oily waste in the firebox. 10 replica wagons and 1 Stockton and Darlington coach were specially built for the occasion and are now kept in the National Railway Museum at York. Each locomotive carried a number which matched with a specially printed programme. This is George Stephenson's Hetton Colliery locomotive of 1822, complete with overhead beams and still in steam. The locomotives in the procession moved at 6 miles an hour in order to accommodate such old-timers. Number 2 in the procession was Derwent, a Stockton and Darlington locomotive built in 1845 by Timothy Hackworth. This K3 class express goods locomotive was one of 60 engines of basically Great Northern Railway design built at Darlington in 1924 and 1925. A Great Western 280 built in 1919 for coal traffic. Cornwall, built by the London and North Western Railway in 1847. Henry Oakley, built by the Great Northern Railway in 1896. North Eastern Railway Z1 class, a 442, built at Darlington in 1917. Aerolite, built in 1851. North Eastern Railway Class D locomotive, built at North Road, Darlington in 1913. Here's number 2 again, Derwent, from the Stockton and Darlington Railway. Followed this time by this long boilered locomotive of the North Eastern Railway, built in 1874. North Eastern Railway, Class S3, built in 1913, again at Darlington. Was withdrawn in 1961. Gresley Pacific Class P1, completed at Doncaster only a few days before the procession. On the wagon is a replica of the Great Western broad gauge North Star, built in 1837. Patrick Stirling's classic number 1 of the Great Northern Railway, this 422 with its enormous single driving wheel, was built in 1870 and survives to this day. Number 910 of the North Eastern Railway appeared at the Stockton and Darlington celebrations in 1875, in 1925, and again in 1975. North Eastern Railway number 130, class T1 and 080, built at Gateshead in 1902, pulls the tableau train, representing the evolution of the wheel. There's a lovely story behind this tableau. The train in front slowed down unexpectedly, so our train braked, and the loose coupled trucks went conk, conk, conk right down the line, with the result that this lot ended up flat on their faces in front of the Royal Stand. And talking of being loose coupled, regulations still had to be observed. So, have you ever seen a brake van done up like this before? One almost expects to see the guard in fancy dress. This is a Great Central 460, Lord Farringdon, built in 1917 at Gorton. London and North Western Railway, Claughton, a 460, built at Crewe in 1913. A 462 Gresley Pacific, number 2563, built for the LNER by the North British Locomotive Company in Glasgow in 1924. Electric locomotive number 13 was built by the North Eastern Railway for the proposed electrification from York to Newcastle. It never happened. Great Eastern Railway Wide Class, a kind of steam tram engine built in 1897 to work in the docks. One of the largest and most powerful steam engines ever built to run in Britain, and the star of the show, the Gresley Garrett, built by Bear Peacock of Manchester and completed 48 hours before the parade. North Eastern Railway Leyland Rail Bus with a petrol engine, which was successfully used in the Selby area. LNER Daimler-powered experimental rail car with a 3-speed gearbox. LNER Sentinel steam rail car built in 1925 to work LNER branch lines. Great Central Class H1 462 tank. LMS 4-cylinder simple 464 built in 1924. At the end came 4 complete trains to represent the new Big Four companies. First, the Great Western with a Swindon-built castle on the front and a typical Great Western set behind. Next, the LMS, drawn by our 460 built at Derby Works in 1924. The only Southern Railway representative was a 460 King Arthur class, built at Eastleigh Works in 1925. And finally, a North Eastern Railway Raven Pacific, City of Newcastle, built at Darlington in 1922 to represent the LNER. These 4 trains did indeed represent the end of the pre-grouping era and the beginning of the Big Four.